Rap royalty is being shaken by a full-fledged courtroom bombshell that was just released in the hip-hop industry. What happens when a brilliant rapper seeks to expose his long-standing rivals? We're talking about exposing Jim Jones's family in a court filing that is so explosive that it's impacting everyone from Hollywood to Harlem. And Cameron just cast the ultimate shadow. What unpleasant things did Cameron find? How far will this debate go? It's more juicy than reality TV. So be warned. Is this the greatest betrayal the game has saw in a long time? Or is it simply another day in the cruel world of rap drama? Reconnection with unforeseen turns that will make you want to stay, since we're going to divulge every filthy detail, even the receipts and the potentially catastrophic consequences. You won't want to miss this. Careers, I assure you. Get your popcorn ready, because the truth is going to get loud, disorganized, and utterly savage. Let's get started. Hold on tight as we look at what Cameron is disclosing in this shocking court filing. This isn't just a pointless family argument or an old-fashioned rap rivalry that has been rehashed for attention. Rather, it's a full-steel legal expose with accusations. At the center of the maelstrom, Jim Jones, Harum's own rapper turned mogul, and his entire family circle. Cameron's paperwork shows a tight-knit family business that's so passionate enough that, instead of merely enjoying music and what's the dirt riches, people are almost bathing for a Netflix series that is purportedly built on a basis of fraud, corruption, and outright lies. Remember the days of the Dipset, the renowned group who brought back Harlem's status in the hip-hop industry. Jim Jones's streetwise hustle and gritty lyrics have made him famous for his image of loyalty and success. But Cameron's appeal contends that the image is actually a skillfully designed facade masking a darker reality. What's the dirt exactly? According to the relatives of Cameron, Jim Jones has been conducting a number of phony firms that just appear on paper, yet transfer millions of dollars through complicated money laundering tactics. One of the purported businesses seems to be a respectable real estate investment company with high-rise structures, excellent Harlem locations, and a constant supply of investment. But Cameron maintains that he looked further with aid from insider information reveals bizarre wire transfers, exorbitant real estate values, and ghost transactions that point to the money isn't flowing from the location where Jim Jones claims insiders allegedly offered Cameron access to bank statements that show millions of dollars in enigmatic transactions that are regularly followed by quick withdrawals. 2 Caribbean offshore accounts, Europe, and that's only the start. A handful of the texts are also charged in the complaint. This isn't a one-man show. The whole family is purportedly engaged in the upkeep of this exquisite home of collaboration. While some family members are referenced anonymously, others are named explicitly. Cards, but it goes beyond questionable financial transactions. Records show that threats of disinheritance or public disgrace were used to force certain family members to remain silent. When things started to go wrong, embarrassed people were purportedly used as scapegoats. A poisonous atmosphere that goes well beyond rap drama is present when family loyalty is utilized as a pretext for illegal action. The document details clandestine gatherings at private locations, where relatives violently dispute how to handle the repercussions, with some wanting complete cooperation with law enforcement and others demanding complete silence at all costs. Narratives regarding excessive spending, pricey autos, private jets, and costly parties that are sponsored with the same cash that may be tied to these criminal operations further muddle the narrative activities in accordance with an anonymous source. There was a party where the champagne poured like water, designer labels filled the place, and the atmosphere was one of deceit, and nothing mattered. Fans recalled Jim Jones as the self-confident, larger-than-life persona, who flung $100 bills in music videos and had a luxurious lifestyle. However, Cameron's complaint raises an essential question: how sustainable is that way of life if it's backed by illegal activity? And more significantly, how long can the family sustain this illusion in the face of mounting legal scrutiny? Of course, legal professionals who have looked at parts of the file off the record feel they point out that if authorities unearth even a small percentage of what Cameron alleges, the entire family may be the focus of several investigations ranging from tax fraud to racketeering, dealing with extreme allegations that might entirely demolish their business. Cameron's disclosure was not surprising, of course. For years, there have been rumors and speculations regarding Jim Jones's family's financial position. Up until today, nobody had the guts or the paperwork to go public. And you guessed it, this court filing. Industry insiders have long been concerned that under the stunning picture is a web of covered transactions that aren't necessarily caught. Leaped sent shockwaves through the music world weeks before Jim Jones's much-anticipated record release. Is Cameron making a calculated power move to steal the show, or is it a heartfelt call for justice and the truth? The debate goes on. Here are the stunning court filings. In response, Jim Jones and his team have redoubled their denial, calling the filing a witch hunt without merit, and accused Cameron of wanting to revive an old fight in order to remain relevant. Don't lie, and media outlets, fans, and legal experts are already analyzing these records. Social media is a conflict with heated hashtags, like Trop. Jim Jones revealed an intra-Cameron court battle. The money beside somber threads contemplating the likely implications. Memes criticizing opulent Dipset lifestyles are making the rounds as followers take sides. Some fervent admirers doubt that their idol could have engaged in any unlawful behavior, while some feel the time has come for the truth to be revealed. And not only fans, but also artists are quietly speaking behind the scenes. According to certain sources, they are stunned, but not surprised by the accusations made against the once close-knit Harlem community. Alliances are shifting, and the rap community is now divided as this legal drama unfolds. All eyes are on the courts, and what happens next might affect not only Jim Jones's legacy, but the entire Dipset brand that has been impacted for almost 2 decades. Will this family weather the storm, or will Cameron's allegations cause the empire to break apart? The next section will go into the interesting facts from assertions that have been released. We'll discover the insane stories that didn't make headlines, the secret meetings, the hush money, and the power struggles behind the scenes. I promise, thanks to anonymous insider confessions and the public's explosive response to this disaster. Do you want to catch up? This legal conflict resumes where we left off. It's also not your usual drama in court. Cameron's filing reads like a thriller, complete with surprising revelations, covered footage, and cache trails that appear to came from out of a Hollywood crime movie. So, let's begin by discussing the money, before getting into the juicy portions that have everyone talking behind closed doors and trending on social media, as the genuine skeletons are certainly resting there. According to private documents that were handed directly to Cameron's close allies, the Jim Jones family is believed to manage a complicated web of, according to the filing charges, shell organizations pose as actual corporations in order to conceal the genuine source of cash flows through a complicated web of accounts. An insider asked to stay unnamed. Investigators were notified by an anonymous person, saying to have worked on the family's financial management team, that on some evenings, wire transfers from absurd locations, that is LLCs that aren't even real, would arrive, put up for money laundering. This source continued by describing excessive spending sprees that were out of proportion to the income that Jim Jones publicly reported. We're talking about expensive automobiles, private yachts, and exotic getaways. Leaked bank documents give much more devastating proof, while family members are purportedly given big bonuses without any clear financial justification, further fostering a culture of avarice and secrecy. $3 million moved into a real estate account from a Caribbean account. One paper allegedly depicts holding business located in New York, while another document demonstrates that the transaction has no legitimate justification. Other cash withdrawals totaling more than $500,000 in a single month were all reported as suspicious activity, but strangely, they weren't investigated at the time. The petition also contends that other further complicated factors. According to Cameron's legal team, family members pose as someone else in order to several credit lines and dummy accounts in an effort to conceal assets and avoid paying taxes. But here's the real kicker. Several audio recordings are cited in the court document that were purportedly captured by unidentified informants and claimed to record private conversations between Jim Jones and his closest relatives. In these leaked recordings, voices can be heard chatting concerning off-the-books transactions, hush payments, and plans to keep everyone quiet while the money was flowing. One video that was supposedly given to the public but was never validated depicts a family member saying, "If everyone who speaks up loses everything." This isn't just commerce, it's survival. The ominous tone represents a family that is ruled by intimidation and dread, including the Jim Jones family. Rap industry insiders have been providing hints to these accusations, which the camp has denied as falsehoods. One seasoned producer warned a source, "I've heard whispers of some questionable." I'm not. In the meantime, a former Dipset employee who wished to remain anonymous told us messy is everywhere. It's surprising that family money gets involved in behind-the-scenes transactions, but no one has the proof yet. However, this feels like a completely different level. It's really depressing. And local Harlem politicians and community organizers aren't the only ones responding. They began to voice their concerns about how, according to one community organizer, Harlem's history is rich, and we don't need a controversy like this overshadowing it. These claims could hurt the neighborhood's reputation. Several firms associated to the Jones family have reportedly started to distance themselves from the filing, which has surprised the family's business associates for everything the community has worked for behind the scenes, subtly terminating partnerships and sponsorships to avoid becoming involved in the controversy. Business partners have reportedly been talking about damage control and how to deal with the discussion of the feds whispering. One insider said that they are working to decide which contracts to cancel and who to blame in the event that the federal government gets involved, causing a PR disaster that might snowball out of control. Despite the lack of official pronouncements, rumors of a federal probe have been growing. A federal source with knowledge of the situation disclosed that the FBI and IRS are among the agencies that have taken in while expressing interest in the situation. The source stressed that investigations are still in their early phases and suggested that financial anomalies uncovered in the file reflect trends we look for in situations involving money laundering and tax fraud. Back on the streets, fans of Jim Jones and Cameron have elevated this into a full-fledged cultural battle, with comment sections and forums exploding with furious disagreements. A few rappers who are not directly involved in the mafia-style organization have made comments on social media, with some publicly endorsing cultural battle, while others have accused Cameron of betrayal. Others gently criticized Cameron's quest for responsibility and the truth. One especially popular tweet summed it perfectly. In the midst of all the mayhem, it's apparent that this dispute is about more than just rap. It serves as a cautionary tale on the nature of power. It comes to a head when hip-hop superstars begin displaying family turmoil like a reality show. Money and familial relationships may get dangerously entwined, and as the story progresses, it's uncertain how deep the rabbit hole will go, whether new people will appear, whether there will be further leaks, or if the family can put out the fire before it burns them all. We're just getting started. The final section will discuss the legal battles and their implications. Challenges lay ahead, probable resignations, government probes, and the public outcry that might make or break the Jones family history. You won't want to miss what happens next. The consequences from Cameron's bombshell court case is fundamentally transforming the Harlem hip-hop industry, and going beyond that, the public is evilly following the drama happening on all music fronts as the formerly Dipset family is now split. The business empire rocked, and let's start with the legal complaint prompted a barrage of reactions, with Jim Jones' legal team launching a flurry of motions to dismiss, saying the charges were purely strategic, unfounded, and defamatory. Nevertheless, the pressure is mounting. Numerous judges have already granted subpoenas for financial data, and the courtroom is preparing for a full-fledged discovery process that may involve other family members and associates. Focused consequences, according to legal experts following this issue. If the authorities are successful in obtaining Cameron's bank records, it might turn into one of the largest financial scandals involving celebrities in recent history. The disclosed documents, which include bank statements and audio recordings, might have terrible consequences, including severe fines and criminal penalties. In the interim, according to sources, there are increasing internal conflicts within the Jones family, and several significant family members are quietly distancing themselves from Jim Jones out of fear that their own involvement would be discovered. According to one insider, there is a lot of tension as people choose sides, and some are preparing to cooperate with investigators in order to defend themselves. This has resulted in rumors of possible defections and close agreements if the prosecution took a step that may fundamentally alter the investigation's direction. Imagine formerly committed family members become witnesses in a courtroom drama worthy of a Netflix series. The public outcry would be harsh. The division inside the hip-hop community is less dramatic. While some supporters commend Cameron for revealing, some argue that this occurrence damages the legacy of dipping in Harlem's rich rap history, while others defend the truth and accuse corruption. Rekindle conversations about the value of loyalty and the ramifications of merging family and business. Due to concerns over brand safety, major sponsors have begun to remove their endorsements and ads, and Jim Jones's brand relationships are suffering severely in the midst of the chaos. Businesses don't want to be associated with a legal disaster in the present social media landscape. According to insiders and advertising firms, regardless of how well-known, Jim Jones and his crew are under more pressure as a result of this financial strain, which may affect next record releases, tours, and commercial ventures. According to one insider, when the Jim Jones's associates confessed that he is under a great deal of stress, and one confidant observed, "This is not just about business. It's a personal nightmare family drama spilling into the personal life of Jim Jones." Despite the turbulence, Jim Jones has been seen arranging meetings with leading PR experts and legal counsel to organize a return. Being in the spotlight is hard, and it's weighing heavily on him and restored his reputation. There have been speculations about a documentary about the affair, but no official confirmation has been made. Meanwhile, Cameron has presented himself as the one who revealed the intelligence and had the guts to withdraw the closure of the book about a questionable family business. While remaining silent in public, his camp has been preparing for what might be a protracted legal battle by meeting with investigators and working behind the scenes. Some speculate that Cameron may be utilizing this lawsuit to pursue his own agenda within the Harlem rap hierarchy, and that his timing was intentional. In addition to seeking justice, in any event, his behavior has made it pretty obvious that no family outside of the courtroom. Community leaders and Harlem residents are planning for the long-term implications, while secrets remain protected and no empire is untouchable. One community organizer told us, "This crisis has put Harlem under a sense the community cannot afford to be separated by this. We believe that the microscope will bring about both accountability and reconciliation." At the same time, local organizations and youth initiatives are said to be anxious about funding as sponsors reassess their participation because of the scandal enveloping one of the most well-known figures in Harlem. The media circus around the case has even prompted privacy disputes, loyalty, and the difficult balance between sensationalism and the public interest. Critics say that artists' private lives should be kept private. Therefore, till then, keep your eyes open and your ears attentive. The hip-hop industry's reality is weirder than fiction.